All right, y'all. So today's episode, I'm coming at you with an SEO hot tip. How to decrease your bounce rate with these 4 simple, actionable, everybody can do them tips. Now, if you don't know what I mean by bounce rate, or the idea of even digging into your bounce rate is completely over your head, makes you want to run and hide in a corner, then definitely do not tune out. I'm going to break down what bounce rate really means for your business. I'm going to debunk a couple of myths and mistakes that I have made myself, and I'm going to walk you through like why this matters and some really practical things that you can do to examine your bounce rate, and then steps that you can take to decrease your bounce rate. So bust out that pen and paper and maybe plan on listening to this episode more than once, because it is meaty, y'all, and I'm excited to bring you these tips. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing with me, Faith Hannon. Do you want to grow your business with organic marketing and finally feel like you can understand SEO? Are you scouring the internet for how to get more website traffic, SEO for dummies, and how to market on Pinterest? Have you tried to grow your business with SEO and blogging only to get frustrated and quit because it's overwhelming and too time consuming? Been there. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, Jesus lover, copywriter, blogger, wife, wrangler of tiny humans, and barrel racer. And let me tell you, I didn't have time to waste sorting through SEO and keyword strategies that either didn't work or were so over my head I couldn't understand them. I honestly thought that SEO and blogging only worked for people with a PhD in tech jargon and a whole team of employees, until I learned these secrets. Good SEO strategies don't have to be complicated, and creating and marketing great content doesn't have to take more than a couple hours a week total. So pop in those earbuds, slam some coffee, and let's grow your business with simple organic marketing and a healthy dose of biblical encouragement along the way. Hey, real quick, before we dive into the content for today's episode, I wanted to give you a little heads up in honor of / celebration of my 100th episode coming up super soon, aka next week. And in conjunction with like the 1-ish year anniversary of this podcast, I'm going to be having a sale. The biggest sale I've ever done. So stay tuned. If you are not signed up to be part of my email list, if you're not subscribed to this podcast, make sure that you have done both so that you don't miss the sale and the promo code. It's not going to be a very long-lasting sale. It's just going to be a quick flash sale with a really nice discount, just to thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me every week, twice a week, and just letting me have the honor of speaking into your business and just getting to use my gifts to help you. So please, please, please stay tuned and be ready for that flash sale code that's going to go live Friday, June 16th. Okay, y'all, bounce rate. Bounce rate. What is it? Why does it matter? And what in the heck do you even need to do about it? So I am 90% sure that I have personally mixed up bounce rate and your pogo stick rate. So I'm going to clear that up a little bit later on in the episode, not far down. But I do want to talk specifically right now about what your bounce rate is. So when it comes to your website, and really all of your marketing efforts, we want to always be looking at, okay, what's working, right? Like, what are we doing? How much effort are we putting into something? How much time, how much money, et cetera, are we putting into this thing? And then how is it working, right? Like, we need to examine our results so we're not just doing the same thing over and over and over again, hoping that maybe it works better this time, but we don't really know because we're not really measuring it. And bounce rate is one of those numbers that you get from your Google Analytics that a lot of people are like, I don't know what to do with this. and 100% been there, so I'm throwing zero shade your way. But as you really dig into your website and making sure that you are getting more traffic and the right traffic, and that your website is working for you to generate leads, bounce rate is an important number to look at and really examine from a holistic perspective. Meaning that you can't just look at this one number in your analytics report and like live and die by it, okay? So what is bounce rate? Bounce rate is the overall percentage of traffic that comes to your website, only goes to one page, and then says, deuces, yo. The key here is that they don't trigger any other events on your website. They don't do anything else. They don't fill out a form. They don't click on any links. They don't click to another page. They just go to this one page on your website. They can stay there and read the whole page, but they don't do anything else on your website, okay? And why does it matter? Well, it matters because people are coming to your website and doing nothing, right? Like the whole point of a website for your business is to generate leads. It's to connect with people, either grow your email list, make a sale, provide further value, build more and more and more trust. Like the point of your website is to grow your business, not to just have like pretty pictures on the internet, okay? So your bounce rate matters because if you have a high bounce rate, it means that people are coming to your website and they're not doing anything, okay? Now, a common term that I have 100% mixed up with bounce rate myself is pogo sticking. So pogo sticking and bounce rate are often mixed up. Like, pretty sure I've mixed them up myself in their definitions, but pogo sticking is when somebody comes to your website and they go to a page, they come to your website from a search engine result. So they're coming to your website from Google or DuckDuckGo, like they've typed something in, your site came up, they click on your website, go to your website, right? Whether it's a blog, your sales page, your homepage, whatever, they're finding you in a search engine result, and then they're clicking on your page, and then they're immediately going back to Google. Okay, that is pogo sticking. Now, some SEO people say that pogo sticking doesn't actually matter for your SEO and your analytics. I think it kind of depends, right? Like, you want people to come to your website, find answers, and connect with you further. And so typically, I think if you have a high pogo sticking rate, it's also not good. But we're not going to dig into pogo sticking today. We're going to focus on bounce rate. Now remember, bounce rate is somebody comes to your website from whatever channel, social media, email, like you send them a direct link, like whatever, organic, however, from any channel, they come and they open a page and they do nothing, okay? The bounce rate is when a user, this is from RFs, I don't know, y'all, if you want me to be able to pronounce your names, you should make them easier to pronounce. Okay. And I have to read stuff from there. I can't listen, I have to read. But whatever. Anyway, bounce rate from RFs. Bounce rate is when a user enters a site from any source and doesn't perform any action. Again, the same thing, okay? So if somebody opens up an article, reads it, but they don't do anything else before leaving, that counts as a bounce. Versus pogo sticking is they enter from a search engine results page and then quickly leave and go back to Google or whatever search engine they're using, okay? But today, we're going to talk specifically about bounce rate. Okay, so bounce rate. Why does it matter again? Because people are coming to your website and doing nothing. So we do want to decrease our bounce rate. But your bounce rate is not what I would call an island number, okay? Your bounce rate is not something that you can just look at and be married to that number and make decisions based on that number. There's some other data that you want to look at in conjunction with your bounce rate. And that data is, ready for it? Your average engagement time. And then you want to look at the pages and screens that have a high or a low engagement time. You want to look at which pages are landing pages and getting the most traffic, right? And then you also want to, if you're feeling real feisty, which is highly valuable information and probably worth the feistiness, you want to get into the path exploration feature in Google Analytics under Explore. Now, BT dubs, if these terms are like blowing your mind and you're like, what even? Please go download my SEO cheat sheet. It's free. It's literally something that I put together for myself and I keep updated for myself and my team that I just give y'all, where I break down SEO and analytics terms in normal human language. Go grab it. It's free. It's in the show notes. But the data, back to the data that you want to look at in conjunction with your bounce rate, your average engagement time. So how long are people staying on your website? You want people to stay on your website, right? You don't want them to come for 2.5 seconds and peace out, right? And you want to look at the pages and screens that people are spending a lot of time on. And it's really cool to look at that in conjunction with the path exploration feature, because you can see, oh, people, this many users are coming to this page, and then they're clicking on this page, and then they're clicking on this page. So you can see the path that users are taking, right? You can see, oh, they come to my blog and then they click on my free resources page and then they click on my sales page, which would be ideal, right? But you can get an idea for where the holes are in your marketing if you look at that data in conjunction with your bounce rate, okay? Because again, your bounce rate is the overall percentage of traffic that comes to your website, goes to one page, and then leaves. It's not just like all based on one single page. It's the overall traffic. So how are we going to decrease your bounce rate, okay? This is fun. Okay, first of all, you need to look at what pages people are not clicking to another page from, right? Like if they're coming to your sales page and your copy sucks and they're like, deuces, yo, then that page is going to have a really low engagement rate and a really high bounce rate, okay? So you need to evaluate these things holistically. And obviously, like if you have hundreds and hundreds of blogs and a small team, you can't dig into like the nitty gritty stuff. Like you've got to prioritize, like, okay, my most recent content, like what are people bouncing from? My most recent content, where are people clicking off from this page? Like my sales page, like, oh my gosh, like where are they engaging? Where are they clicking from? Where are they not clicking from? And then evaluate like holistically, like, oh crap, my copy really sucks halfway down the page. I should probably fix that, okay? So to decrease your bounce rate, there's actually probably going to be 5 tips, y'all. You need to look at things holistically. And you need to look at these individual pages, even if you just start with 5 pages and you see that, oh, I'm losing people in between my blogs. I'm losing people on my blogs. And so sit there and ask yourself these questions about each of these pages that you've identified as one that you want to really focus in on reducing your bounce rate. Meaning like, hey, I really want to make sure that people click to another page from this page. Okay? So these are the things that you want to focus in on to decrease your bounce rate on those pages, okay? Number 1, you want to make sure that you are providing value on those pages, okay? Make sure that you are answering the dang question, right? Like, actually do the thing that you are promising to do on that page. Make somebody's life better with your content, okay? Number 2, please, for the love of all things holy, be abundantly clear. Nobody has time to read between the lines or deal with like overly poetic copy. Like, God bless poetic people or people who are just like super good at like weaving, 900 things of stories into their copy. Like, I appreciate that, but when that takes away from clarity, I think you're losing people. So provide value, be abundantly clear. And then this is a fun one that I have been experimenting with in a couple of different areas. on each page, right? Let's say you're optimizing your top 5 performing blogs and your homepage, your sales page, and your about page. Just making that up. You're really focusing on those to decrease your bounce rate, okay? So on those pages, right, I want you to customize your call to action for each of those pages, right? So let's say that you have a blog on home decor, right? Home decor for fall. And you have a course that teaches people how to decorate their home on a budget. So you've got this blog on home decor for fall. So your calls to action for that page, for that blog, let's customize them to the question that blog answers that leads to your paid course. So like home decor for fall on a budget. So we're going to then take that and make your sales pitch, your call to action for that page that's pointing to your course to be like, learn how to decorate your home beautifully for fall and every season, right? You're tugging at their heartstrings for the same reason that they came to that page, okay? And then, so that would be like your hard call to action. And your like soft call to action for that blog would be like, read this too. And so you would want to customize that to be like, oh, you know what? I have some fall tablescape design ideas that I can link to this, so that you're not only like being like, hey, read this, buy this, but you are speaking to the person and you're speaking to the problem that they came to you to solve, instead of just being like willy-nilly, like, buy this thing. Like, you are customizing your call to action, you're customizing your read mores based on what they came to you for, okay? So you can do this for each of the pages that you're trying to really optimize and decrease your bounce rate for, okay? And then number four tip, that's really, or maybe it's number 5, I don't know, y'all, that's really more of a holistic content strategy tip is this. With everything that you create, I want you to think, what do I want them to do with this information? And truly, this is, y'all, this is a tip that you can use in writing a sermon, sending an email, having a conversation with somebody, talking to your 5-year-old. Ask yourself, what do I want them to do with this information? Do you want them to buy something? Do you want them to sign up for your email list? Or do you want them to simply take an action? Okay. But when you begin with the end in mind of, I want them to take this specific action, then it's easier to create the flow and the function of the article or the page or whatever. If you have in the back of your mind, I want them to subscribe so they never miss a blog, right? Okay, great. Now craft that into your copy, craft that into your strategy. All right. If you want your child to put away their stuff without being asked, like, that needs to be in the back of your mind as you have that conversation. If you want your, the people who are coming to your sales page to buy this course because it's going to save them XYZ, then you need to be thinking about what it's going to save them and the action that you want them to take as you are crafting all of your copy, all of your buttons, and like your sales pitches, everything. Okay. So I know this was a meaty episode, but if you will take these things, take this simple definition of a bounce rate, right? I want you to look at your bounce rate in conjunction with your average engagement time, the pages and screens that people are coming to, and then going to and digging into the path exploration feature under Explore in Analytics just a smidge. If you'll take that data, look at your bounce rate and see where you are losing people and where you can like really capitalize on the traffic that you're already getting, I think you will, / I know you will see not just an increase in engagement, but an increase in quality engagement. Okay. So remember, the data that you want to look at in conjunction with the simple bounce rate numbers, average engagement time, pages and screen, the path exploration feature. And then you want to pick a few pages to really optimize. see where you're losing people, and then make sure that you provide value, be abundantly clear, customize your call to action, and then with everything you create, think, what do I want them to do with this information? So I pray that this episode blesses y'all and you're able to take this, use this to better your SEO. If you have any questions or you're like, hey, Faith, just fix it for me, then make sure to book a coaching call. We can book a coaching call and just spend that hour going through your analytics, and you can learn how to use this data for yourself. If you haven't listened to episode 96, make sure you go back and listen to that as well. And if you don't have my SEO cheat sheet, please, please, please go grab that. It will make your life so much easier and your brain so much happier. All right, y'all, we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts? That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.